I was at work. I work for a company named A Sign of the Times. We make, as you might have guessed, signs. I work the second shift. First shift does all the bulk orders like stop signs that get ordered 100 at a time. On the second shift, we take care of the smaller, more custom signs, like street signs or a specific business like a grocery store. Being that there was less demand for the custom work, there were only 3 of us on the night shift, more than enough to deal with the orders we got. Truth be told, we usually got done in a couple of hours and then cleaned up and gooped off the rest of the shift. There was me, Henry, who was my best friend, and an older man named Steve. Steve used to work the first shift, had for many years, but the faster pace started to get the better of him, so he transferred to night. He was, in essence, our boss, but never seemed to care what we did, so long as our work got done and got done right. We'd finished for the night and long since cleaned up, and still had another 3 hours on our shift before we'd have to clock out and close up for the evening. Henry was, as per usual, placing stencils on signs to make goofy or immature designs. He would giggle like a madman, like he was at the moment. I looked over and saw he had mocked up a sign that just said, boobies. He looked over for my approval and I just shook my head and went back to the mobile game I was playing on my phone. Steve, as always, had his nose buried in a book. I looked over because I saw movement in his direction and it was him getting up. Gonna make the rounds, shut off the downstairs lights and hit the restroom, he exclaimed. Don't fall in, Henry piped in. We both shook our heads. I went back to my game and lost track of time. Soon, I felt a tug on my arm and looked up. Hey, Henry said a bit uneasy. Steve's been gone an awful long time. I looked up at the clock and frowned. He was right. Steve would usually be done with the pre-closing in like 15 minutes, and it had been over an hour. Even using the restroom wouldn't account for that. Okay, I said, getting up. Let's go check on him. Maybe he did fall in. Henry wasn't laughing. I could see he was concerned. Under that immature facade, he was actually a pretty decent guy. It's why we'd been friends for so long. We made our way downstairs and checked the restroom first, but it was empty. So we made our way to the main floor, but it was kind of dark. Henry made his way to turn the lights on as I walked further into the room. I heard a loud thunk from the back room where Henry was and went to get the lights, but they came on. So I figured he must have just knocked something over. With the lights on, I made my way to the far end because something looked off with one of the signs there. As I got closer, I saw it. The sign, written in blood, said, "Don't turn around." I could see the bloody arms and legs of Steve on the floor on the other side of the sign. Suddenly, I could hear heavy breathing and the sound of a chain rattling behind me. I turned around. I should have listened to the sign.